Have you ever wondered what bizarre customs exist in the world that go beyond our imagination? From Spain, where men dress as demons and jump over newborn babies to ward off evil spirits, to Brazil, where boys must wear gloves full of bullet ants and endure the most painful stings in the world to prove their manhood. But if you think those customs are already extreme, then head to Uganda, where the aunt of the bride directly tests the groom the night before the wedding to ensure everything goes smoothly for the young couple. It may sound unbelievable, but this is just one of countless strange traditions that make Uganda a land of customs beyond imagination. Join Knowledge Compass as we explore this mysterious African country. Are you ready? Let's get started. Number 1. Overview of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Uganda is a landlocked country located on the equator in East Africa, bordered by Lake Victoria to the southeast. It is surrounded by South Sudan to the north, the Democratic Republic of Congo to the west, Kenya to the east, and Rwanda and Tanzania to the south. The country covers an area of 241,551 square kilometers, slightly smaller than the United Kingdom. The highest point in Uganda is Mount Stanley's Margarita Peak, 5,110 meters, located in the Rwenzori Mountains within Rwenzori National Park. As one of the few countries in the world without a coastline, Uganda has an estimated population of 34.8 million people. The largest city and capital is Kampala. The official languages are English and Swahili. Number 2. The tragic fate of LGBTQ+ people in Uganda. In May 2023, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni officially signed a law that shocked the international community, one of the harshest laws against the LGBTQ+ community worldwide. Under this law, same-sex relations can be punished with life imprisonment and, in some severe cases, even the death penalty. Not only does this law criminalize homosexuality, but it also includes a controversial provision. Anyone who suspects someone of being LGBT+ must report them to the authorities. Failure to do so could result in criminal prosecution. This means that citizens are placed in the role of supervisors of one another, creating an atmosphere of suspicion, fear, and discrimination within society. Number 3. Twins in Uganda are considered a great blessing. For most people, having twins is a normal occurrence, but in Uganda, it is regarded as a great blessing. The name Nakato is given to the younger twin girl, and Babirye is the name for the older twin girl. For twin boys, the older one is called Waswa, and the younger one is called Kato. The mother of twins is called Nalongo, while the father is referred to as Salongo. An interesting tradition in Uganda is that when twins are born, a special ceremony is held to celebrate their arrival into the family. This celebration highlights the unique and cherished status that twins hold within Ugandan culture. Number 4. You can be called by thousands of titles in 1 minute. One of the interesting facts about Uganda is that you can be called by thousands of different titles in a single minute if someone is trying to persuade you to buy their goods or services. For example, a taxi driver might refer to you as sister, aunt, nurse, professor, doctor, or engineer just to convince you to get into their car. For a first-time visitor to Uganda, you might wonder how someone could possibly have all these contradictory titles. However, in practice, the person might not hold any of these titles at all. It's simply a part of the Ugandan sales language, a way to charm or persuade potential customers. Number 5. Uganda's unofficial name, the Republic of Matooke. When traveling in Uganda, you will often come across a popular local dish called Matooke. This traditional food is made from green bananas that are boiled and then mashed, typically served with a sauce. The people of Uganda take great pride in Matooke, so much so that an image of the dish was once featured on one of the country's banknotes. When asked about the flavor of Matooke, many foreign visitors find it bland and monotonous when eaten on its own. They often feel that only when it's paired with a rich sauce, like meat sauce, beans, or peanut sauce, does Matooke become more enjoyable. However, for Ugandans, Matooke is considered the best and most beloved dish, deeply embedded in daily life. In fact, sometimes you may hear locals complain that they haven't eaten anything this week. This doesn't mean they haven't eaten at all, but rather that they haven't had Matooke and have had to rely on other foods, which makes them feel something is missing. Number 6. You can buy anything on the streets of Uganda. One of the most interesting aspects of Uganda is the bustling and diverse street markets. Here you can find almost anything you need without ever stepping into a shopping mall. From clothes, shoes, fresh produce, ready-made meals, stationery, groceries, cosmetics, to even electronics. Everything is available right on the side of the road. The people of Uganda are known for their intelligence, resourcefulness, and hard work. They make use of any available space, whether it's a sidewalk, street corner, bus stop, or even a traffic light, transforming it into a mobile shop. With just a tarp, a small table, or even a basket, they can begin their sales. If you're tired, short on time, or simply don't want to deal with the crowds in shopping malls, the lively streets of Kampala, the capital, are the perfect alternative. They feel like a huge borderless market where you can casually stroll around while shopping for everything from friendly street vendors. Number 7. The special role of the aunt in traditional Ugandan marriage. In some tribes in Uganda, particularly among the Baganda community, the bride's maternal aunt, typically the mother's younger sister, plays a very significant role in the marriage preparations. Not only is she the one who teaches the bride essential life skills, marital etiquette, and sexual relations, but she also holds an incredibly sensitive and unusual responsibility. She directly tests the groom before the wedding night. This practice, which has ancient traditional roots, is carried out to ensure that the groom is physically and sexually capable of being a husband, and to prepare for a stable and fulfilling marriage. In certain cases, the aunt is believed to examine the groom to ensure that everything goes smoothly on the wedding night, to avoid any embarrassing situations or damage to the bride's family's reputation. Although this tradition is gradually fading and is considered sensitive, it still exists in some conservative communities or remote rural areas. For Westerners and international tourists, this practice is certainly shocking, not only due to its deep interference in personal life, but also because it breaks the cultural norms they are accustomed to. Number 8. Time in Uganda is flexible. Time is relative. If you're someone who is used to punctuality, you might need a little cultural adjustment when you visit Uganda. Here, the concept of time is not as rigid as in Western countries. People live at a slower pace, relaxed, and are rarely pressured by the clock. Arriving late is not considered disrespectful. It's simply a part of life. For example, if you're invited to a party at 6 p.m., guests may start showing up as late as 8 p.m., and they will still be warmly welcomed. In the workplace, if a meeting is scheduled to start at 10 a.m., it's likely no one will mind if the host arrives at 10:45. This is so common that locals have a humorous phrase for it: Ugandan time, meaning it will start when it starts, no rush. This relaxed approach to time reflects the easygoing, stress-free nature of Ugandans. For them, what matters most is presence and connection, not every minute and second. However, for tourists or foreigners living here, it can sometimes be a little frustrating if you're not used to it. But once you adapt to this slow and steady lifestyle, you might find it quite pleasant. Number 9. Ugandans can carry the whole family on one motorcycle. If you've ever thought that a motorcycle is only for 2 passengers, then you haven't been to Uganda, where the boda-boda, the local term for motorcycle taxis, will leave you in awe. On the bustling streets of Kampala or in peaceful rural areas, it's common to see a small motorcycle carrying up to 4 to 5 people. The parents sitting in front and behind the driver, 2 children squeezed in the middle, and sometimes even a baby tied to the mother's back with a cloth. Occasionally, there may even be a chicken, a sack of charcoal, or a metal door frame being transported home. Boda-bodas are not just a popular mode of transport. They are the lifeblood of both urban and rural life in Uganda. They weave through narrow alleyways, cut across shortcuts, and scale slippery hills that cars cannot navigate. With affordable fares, quick service, and no fixed schedule. Boda-bodas are the top choice for most people, from students, office workers, to market goers. Of course, the overloading of these motorcycles poses a high risk of accidents, especially since most drivers don't wear helmets, nor do they provide helmets for passengers. Despite this, boda-bodas remain a vibrant symbol of Uganda, a country where life is constantly moving, albeit with a bit of risk involved. Number 10. Polygamy in Uganda. Polygamy is a form of marriage that still exists in Uganda, especially under customary laws and certain religious traditions. A striking example is Mr. Musa Hasiya Kasera, 68 years old, who lives in the village of Bugisa. He has 12 wives, 102 children, and 578 grandchildren. So many that he can't remember all their names and has to keep written records. Once a wealthy cattle trader, he married multiple wives and even encouraged his brothers to do the same. However, he now admits he has been irresponsible and has decided not to have more children, as he can no longer afford to care for them, especially with only 0.8 hectares of land and living in poverty. Despite the hardships, he holds monthly family meetings to resolve conflicts. When asked why his wives haven't left him, he smiled and said, "They love me. You see, they're still happy." Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future videos. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any thoughts or feedback.